Hi, how's everyone doing? This is Dave from Washington, D.C., doing my Mooer GTRS guitar teardown, breakdown, whatever, dissection, whatever we're going to call what I'm doing. First video, I took off the pickguard on one of these GTRSs. No one else had ever done that before. I want to point out exactly which one I have, because I don't know if I was clear about that in the first video. It's gold in color, if you can't see that, but this is a Mooer GTRS, and they're all, well, the Strats are 800 series. This is an 801, I believe an 800 versus 801. The one means it's got the maple fingerboard, the 800 has the rosewood-ish, if it is rosewood, fingerboard. And then you've got your S series, which is what I have, which stands for standard. And then you have your P professional series. And from what I could tell when I was looking at the specs on this, other than it was close to $200, maybe a little bit shy. Differences is the P series, the more expensive one, came with locking tuners. I already had some Graphtec ratio tuners from another project that didn't get used. So I was like, I'm not going to pay extra money for something I already have. And then the bridge, I believe this is a Wilkinson bridge, but I believe they had Wilkinson OEM it, and they just stamped GTRS on the bridge. The P series, ironically, has the next model up Wilkinson bridge, and it actually says Wilkinson, so they didn't stamp it with the GTRS on there. Anyway, so that's the model I got, but that's not what this video is about today. The video is about this guitar. When it came to me, it came with a humbucker that did not match the rest of the pickguard, which I thought for a $500+ guitar, it's strange they didn't match it up. Not super uncommon, but I don't know. It would have been nice if it matched, and it bothered me, so I wanted to make a change. So, first video, I took the pickguard off. I said I'd do something on the humbucker. This is the humbucker. It had 2 solder points on the bottom for the cover. When you take the cover off, I thought this was going to just be a black pickup. It's got clear plastic on the top. You could paint this black. I think some people even sell little plastic covers you can glue on. But just know you can see the coil wire right through the clear plastic. It is a 4-wire pickup. Your farther to the right coil, the one with the screw-in bobbins, that is the white and green wire. And then the lower push-in bobbins on this one are the red and black wires. And then they had a 5th wire, which was just a ground that just gets soldered to the base plate. The model they call for this is HM-1B, which I guess stands for humbucker, one bridge. I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but it's an HM1B is the model. Nothing that special about it. I took it apart. It's your typical humbucker. I took readings. I want to tell you, they definitely wax potted the heck out of this thing. It's got a magnet in here. The magnet is some type of, I don't know if it's a Linco or what, but and I got to figure out how to tell. But that's the magnet that came with it. I'm not going to be using this pickup probably for anything. But I just took it apart to show everyone this is what you get. There was obviously screws holding the 2 single coils together in this, but I left those out so I could show you, and I left the cover off. I mounted the EVH Wolfgang pup. I made sure I measured with the magnet to have the right, just whatever the magnetization was on these pole pieces. I just matched that up when I put in the Wolfgang. And it turned out the same way. The screw pole pieces go toward the neck, and the push-ins go toward the bridge, just like on the original stock one. On the back, all this is me making a little extension on the ground bridge wire. I just taped up the extra slack from the lead off the Wolfgang. And then I briefly mentioned this in the first video. It was really kind of weird because they had the unshielded ground, and then they had, I guess, the south coming off the second single coil wire. both went to this ground piece here. And maybe I was wrong, but I thought that to be, maybe it's small, but I thought that to be a ground loop. So I cut off, I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up, the unshielded wire. I'm just not using that. Wolfgang doesn't have that, so, you know, what was I going to do with it anyway? Didn't need it. The green wire here is just the ground, and that goes to the ground side, the side that I'm grounding of the Wolfgang, and then the lead side of the Wolfgang goes to the red, which comes over here to the switch, where it goes in for the actual switch on itself. So this is wired up, ready to go. It'll go in tonight, tomorrow, whenever, and I'll start testing it, see how it sounds. That's the humbucker in the bridge position. That's my swap. There was one, other than the potential ground loop from that extra wire, which maybe I'm blowing out of the way. It wasn't a big deal. All of 30 seconds to remove it. I noticed one other strange thing about this pickguard and these pickups. And I say strange because it wasn't what I expected. And for those that want to switch these single coil covers, which you can easily do, most people know that the spacing on the single coil covers go 48 millimeter, 50 millimeter, and then 52 millimeter. And what I found out from this is the single coils all use your regular 50 millimeter spacing. No big deal. You want to, depending on which model you get, you want to put all black covers on here. Maybe somebody wants to get silver covers like this. These are gold, fake gold or whatever. Maybe you want to get fake silver ones so it all matches this cover. You need to get the 50 millimeter spacing for these. What I noticed that was weird was on the humbucker, the single coils that make up the humbucker were actually 52 millimeters spaced. And I don't know if that's because of the tremolo or whatever, but the 52 millimeters are what the humbucker spacing on the coils is, where the rest of the single coils are the 50. And then I tested the Wolfgang. The Wolfgang is also 50, so I got 50 spacing, 50 spacing, 50 spacing. Maybe I'm supposed to have it a little bit wider. When I get the strings back on this thing, I'm going to look at that spacing. Maybe in my next video, I'll say how that worked out, see if it was a problem or not. But this was 52 on these, 50 and 50. If you're going to replace your single coils, as I'm repeating myself again, 50 millimeters what you want. The only other thing I did was, because I got a feeling I'll be taking this apart more than once, I put in just a little quick release switch here that allows me to remove the ground to the tremolo wire without having to desolder it. I've used these a bunch for other projects, even some home wire, and they're rated for, but it just makes it easier when I got to remove something. I don't have to solder it, and that little connector fit perfectly in the little groove right there. So this is going to go back in. I'm going to test it. I just wanted to show everybody what I found out when I took the humbucker apart, and what I found out when I checked the spacing on this, and the little ground wire strange thing. That's it. The next video, as I said before, I'm actually going to pull this out, the logic unit. If you haven't been following or you haven't been in the know, this is basically a Mooer Prime P1 unit. Modified firmware, obviously, but that's basically what this is, with a battery pack put inside the guitar. You know, obviously it's not an exact Prime P1. They took it out of its plastic case and found a way to mount it in there. And this is what the next video will go into. I'm going to actually take that apart and take a look at it. But that's what they used for a logic system for this guitar. And really, that's all I got. I'm going to get this back together. I'm going to play it a little bit, see how it goes, and then I'll take out the logic guts and see where we get from there. As always, if any of this information was useful, helpful for those that want to switch out their covers and all this, because these specs, I couldn't find these specs anywhere. I just asked, give me a like. I got a small, worthless channel that doesn't really do much. And if you don't subscribe, I get it. The subscriptions help me, but I'm not going to ask because I don't make that many videos. If you want to do it, awesome. If not, it's cool. But just definitely give me a like. That helps me out a little bit as well. Costs you nothing. And good luck on upgrading your Mooer GTRS, whatever model you have. And hope you're having a great day. Hope you enjoyed this. I hope one person out there got some type of use out of the information I couldn't find when I went looking all this up on my own. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.